The three of us will say something because it's important, because we have our president here. We also have the chairperson of the Young Professional Network here as well. So Pat Davitt is my name. I'm the CEO in IPAV in Ireland. And Ireland, as you heard, is a very small country. Well, have any of you ever been there?
Yes.
One. Very good. So it's a very small country. There's a lot of agents in it and everything. As Tom already said to you, we do some auctions like that, and some people do cattle auctions and furniture auctions and all sorts of auctions like that. But I was getting on the train one morning going to work, and Colin Farrell sent me a video of he being at the auction school here, and I never heard of the auction school, obviously, and I never heard that Colin was here. So he sent it to me himself, and his daughter was here, Marie, and I said that's the real thing for us, because Niamh is the chairperson of our Young Professional Network, and we were going to run this competition. We run a novice competition every year. So anyhow, we got Colin to get in contact with Mike, and Mike quite very generously, he has sponsored a place in the school each year since. We've had two already. One of the guys turned up and one of them didn't come yet, and this year we're running it again on the 4th of February, and we're going to do it there again. So auctioneering in Ireland, as auctioneering goes, a lot of people are property professionals, and they don't really do the auctioneering. It's a separate side to the business of most people, but you still have to have a license for it, and we do it. So IPAV is an institute of about 1,500 people, and in Ireland, and it's a professional institute, and we look after our members from an educational point of view, and also from we help them in any way that we can with their duties as regards property professionals. So I'm going to Paul is our president, and I'm going to let Paul say a few words, obviously, and Niamh is the chairperson. So Jeff, if you want to talk first about whatever you want to do, I don't want to
Paul McCourtney is my name, so I'm the current president of IPAV, and this is our 50th year. Tom was the immediate past president, and so we both shared the 50th year in IPAV. It was a great honour to be in as president for this particular year. Auctioneering and real estate, I've been involved in it since 1983. My father was in the business before that. I live in Dublin, and I've been part of IPAV since about 1987, and I'm on the executive there since 1989, which seems a lifetime ago, but it's a very rewarding position to be in IPAV and work with a great bunch of people. And Pat here, our CEO, I have to say he's done a fantastic job as a CEO. Our institute has grown considerably over the last number of years since Pat has come in. And it's lovely to be over here to see how this event has been run and be part of it. And I think going forward, it's something that a relationship, I think, as an institute, will hope to grow and develop a relationship that there'll be benefit to everybody involved. So that's my little bit of speech for today, and I wish you all the best and whatever your careers take you into the future.
So good afternoon all. Niamh Giffney is my name. I'm from Dublin, which is the capital in Ireland. Just for anybody who doesn't know. So I work just outside of Dublin in another county, but I live in Dublin. I'm the chairperson of the Young Professional Network within the Institute, which we set up about 5 years ago. So we're encouraging, mentoring younger people to get involved in the Institute for auctioneering, for real estate, for valuations. We have various different platforms. So one of the events that we have, as we've mentioned, is the Novice Auctioneer Competition, which is a really fun event. People get up, they like yourselves, they want to be auctioneers, they want to be on the rostrum. They get up, they have this fabulous place, a sales arena, where they sell bloodstock. It's called Tattersalls. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place. The agents, they get up, they do their catalogue, they absolutely nerves everything. You guys know, you're there. We don't do the same kind of babble, I suppose, that you guys do, but we have our own, and the winner then wins a trip here to the scholarship to American Auctions Academy. So that's why we're here today. Very thankful to Mike and to Larry, and it's great to see you all here, and I wish you all the very best in your auctioneering career, and thank you very much for having us.
I remind Mike actually to come to one of our valuation We have a European valuation every year, and we have 600 or 700 people at it. For the past 2 years, it's been virtual. But we invited you, I think 3 years ago, Mike, when we had it in the RDS in Dublin, to come and have a stand there and to do some of this during the auction, when the auction was on. But actually, I'm going to speak to you now about you coming to Ireland, not today maybe, but I'm going to speak to you about you coming to Ireland to do one of these tasks, because we have in our headquarters in Dublin, we have a place like this that would be perfect for what you want to do, and I'm sure we'll be able to get people that would take it up. So we'd be delighted to do that with you. Absolutely, that is the greatest idea I've learned today. A former president of ours used to say, every day is a school day, and today is no different. So it's all good.
Love that.
Well, Colin,
We'll do it.
thank you.
Hi everybody, we've met already. I was in here this morning with Mike and all you guys doing your drill. And in the hallway this morning I met Jeff, isn't it?
Yeah.
I met Jeff and his wife, and we had a chat, and Jeff asked me, he asked me a very simple question. He said, Jeff has bought a business and they intend to do a lot of auctions, and he said, what is the secret? Or you know, how do you improve your chance, or how do you get there? And the only small bit of advice I could give him was to take his time. Baby steps. Start selling. You don't have to run and do this big of 40 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour. Start slow and practice, and then you'll get there, and that's what it's all about. I came here 4 years ago. It was something I just googled auction academies in America, and of course I came across the very best that could be. I spent a week here. I spent 8 days here, and I have to say, with my daughter, it was the best 8 days of my life. It was absolutely amazing. And you're going to enjoy
the day before.
You're going to enjoy every single day of it, and enjoy it and take it. You're going to meet so many new friends, and you're going to meet 2 or 3 best friends that you're going to meet. Tom Smith the other day in the hallway with a lovely chat. But you're going to remember this forever. But more importantly, the school is about improving yourselves as auctioneers, and by God, Mike is going to get it out of you. This morning I thought he was never going to stop you doing that drill. I think he did it designedly because I was here, and he was wondering who was going to fall down first. It was an amazing drill, and what Mike does is very, very special. We're looking forward to Mike and Laurie coming to Ireland, and hopefully they will do that soon. And look at you guys, you can look us up, and if you come to Ireland, we're here, we'll show you around and do whatever we can. Again, a big thanks. I'm so proud that Pat and Paul and Tom and Eve decided to come here. It's a testament of their, what they think of me as a member, and I'm so proud that they're here. Have a great time, enjoy your auction livelihoods and your lives ahead, and big thanks to Mike and Laurie. Thanks very much.
Well, that was awesome. Wasn't that exciting?
Yes.
This is history making right here. You just saw something that's never happened in the United States. Get this.
Well, what is the difference in auctioning this? I don't know if anybody else has the same question, but what is the different techniques? It seemed like it was a lot slower than what we do over here. What's the, how do we differ?
Well,
Compared to
Irish auctioneers, rostrum auctioneers are
Okay,
a speciality.
Tell them what a rostrum.
Yeah, rostrum auctioneer is
Like
so
this.
mainline auctioneering is so what I do every day is I actually go to my office every morning, and we take properties in for sale. We put them up online. We act for the vendors. We have little or no purchasing agents in Ireland because the actual meat on the bone is very small. Our percentage fee is probably 1.25%, maybe 1.5% in the rural areas. So it's not giving anything in it for a buying agent to take 50% cut or whatever. So 95% of our business would be private treaty sales for vendors, which is done over the phone or at meetings. And I'd say some agents don't auction at all. 100% of their business is by private treaty. Agents like ourselves, we do a lot of land, and farmers like to buy land at auction. It's an open, transparent kind of system. It's very clean, it's very clinical, and when you buy at auction, you sign the contract on the day and you pay your 10% deposit and you're in. The deal is done, and that's it. There's no backing out or no changing of minds, or there's no variation in it. Most rostrum auctioneers are specific to that business. They don't sell property. And if you chat to some of them, they say, you know, it's tiring, it's a tough day's work when you're selling. It's hard to comment on the play on the rover. It's tough in your voice. You're kind of, you know, when you get off the rostrum, you're tired, you're jaded. Our marts, guys can sell all day. They start in the morning time, they might take a break for lunch, and they're back up again in the afternoon. The marts can start at, depending on where you are, they can start at 10 a.m. in the morning, they might finish until 6 in the evening. So you're selling pretty much all day. And most rostrum entrepreneurs don't actually do property, so there is a difference. Some do blend it. So that's kind of how our business works. Like we have marts, we have livestock marts as well in different parts of Ireland. We sell cattle on a Monday, on Wednesday in Tullamore, we sell them in Leitrim on a Saturday. So it's all good. And a bit like over here, we're all a little bit taken aback with how strong the market is, particularly having come through COVID and the pandemic. We've seen prices increase in Ireland by, I would say, 10-15% in the last 12 months. I'm hearing over here is even stronger than that. So it's unusual. It's happening. It's great. We were obviously in a recession from 08 until 17-18. Prices dropped by 70-80% in some cases. We're now back up to where we were in 06 pretty much in terms of value. So we're all happy. We're doing reasonably well again. Not making a fortune, but it's good. It's good. So I hope to answer your questions.
Some people that would do that type of rostering auctioneering, like if you're doing goods and chattel and that type of thing, where you'd have a bidding list or a list of values, auctioneers could probably do 100 lots an hour.
Yeah.
If you're selling it. Wow. So like if you're doing cattle, like Tom was talking about, cattle is individual sales and farmers would want to get the best price for them. So like, you know, you don't have a bidder's list for them, you have to go on the value of the cattle. If you're doing that, or you're doing cars or whatever else, you probably would have a list of the values of them. But if you're doing goods and chattel and you have the full list and you know that this person wants, you're selling whatever the case be, the pen here, and you know that that's $50 or you want $50 for it, well then you're going to start at 30 and 35, 40, 50, and you're going to get there. If you don't get there, you don't have anybody, you don't catch it. So we would set up booby numbers that we would have ourselves, and I'm sure you do the very same thing here, Mike. So if you didn't sell it to somebody else, you sell it to yourself. So like, you know, and everybody out here thinks that we're selling everything away, you know, and it's all going on like that. So, but most people would be able to do like 100 lots an hour if you're doing that type of thing, that type of auctioning, if that's what you're doing. So like your tobacco guys, I'm sure would be able to do 120 or something like that, you know, maybe more, maybe even 150, because they're, like it's something else, you know, comparison altogether to what.
I think the chattel, you know, when I was doing a lot of personal property, we'd do 100 to 110, 120.
Yeah.
Very similar, because it's all about speed, remember? It's all about fast.
Yeah.
But you could have 700 or 800 lots to do in the day, and maybe more, it just depends. But the auctioneers that have a break in and out, obviously in between, but at the same time, if you weren't able to do that, like you would spend, let's say if you're doing 100 lots an hour and you get 600 lots, obviously it's 6 hours. So from that point of view, that's for auctioneers will be doing them on their own, and they'll be doing their own auctions, and that's what they'll be doing. So it's all good.
The only difference in the Irish auctioneering method is that the Irish auctioneer rarely asks for the next bid. And that's something I learned when I came to Mike in Ireland. And if you remember Tom's selling there a few minutes ago, he was always on the bid that was there in the present. He wasn't. I think once he looked for the next bid, whereas you guys are always on the next bid. And that's something I learned there with Mike. And I remember going back to a sheep sale, and I tried it with our local farmers, and they didn't know what it was at. You know, and the farmer that was selling thought he was getting $5 more than what he was actually getting, and he was getting annoyed. So I cut it out for the first week, and then I gradually brought it back in. But now I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Now I'm at the stage where I'm looking for the next bid. You know, and but I'd say very few auctioneers in Ireland do it. Because it's just the method we have is on the bid that you actually have, you know, and you might have noticed that with Tom, he wasn't asking like you guys. You're one bid ahead all the time.
His way of asking was round me up.
Round me up.
And the marts historically, the seller used to be in the box beside the agent, right? So the rostrum auctioneer is here and he's selling away, and the vendor is here, hidden behind a sort of partition. And then when you get to a certain stage and the bullock is making 1,000, the farmer, are you happy? No. Right? Come back and try it again, you get it up to 1,100, are you happy? No. So you go and eventually he'll say yes. So then we changed all that. There was more consultation. So the bullock is in the ring and it's on the market all the way, right? And then the hammer comes down and it's sale or no sale.
Yeah.
That's how you do it in court, yeah?
Yes or no,
Yeah, yes or no, then sale or on or off, right? So there's no consultation anymore, so it's quicker. Yeah.
in Leinster House. I was
Or you
running
can
auction.
change Ireland alone, or can you go to Scotland, France?
Well, I don't know what's happening in France, but in Ireland that's the way it's done now,
Yeah, and most of the guys, and the auction stuff is most the same all over the world, I'd say.
Were you developing, are they just doing that in Ireland? Like,
So
or,
you're just doing that?
yeah, we're just working in Ireland, yeah.
Because I know they're pretty clannish over there as far as, you know.
Some of the larger equestrian auctions, the vendors protect the reserve, so they can bid the horse up themselves to 500,000 or 600,000. But if they buy back the horse, and if they're the highest bidder, they normally pay 50% of the commission. So they pay, in the case of horses, it's 5% commission to Tatterstalls and one of the bigger companies. But if the vendor protects the price and the hammer hits onto them, you pay 2.5% of a fee to the agent on the way out, right? And take your horse home.
But we probably have taken enough of your time, have we? We're happy to go and we're delighted to meet you. Actually, you're to us in Ireland. We were afraid you didn't exist for a while, you know, because we heard so much about you and everything like that. It was great to come to meet you.
I was a
To actually-
figment of
actually
Tom's
meet you,
imagination.
to meet you and to see what
Yeah,
it's
it's fantastic,
very
yeah.
good. We're absolutely delighted.
So I'm going to make a confession before I go, by the way, guys. Pat said on the way in, Tom, I'd bid up to €50 for the bottle of Jameson, all right? So he's rather disappointed he didn't get it. So well done again down there, yeah?
Yeah. We want to show you, Mike.
I gotta ask a question.
Yeah.
Are you guys Conor McGregor fans?
Are we rich?
Conor McGregor
This is
fan?
the national papers that
Yeah.
are-
He did a lot of stuff back in Ireland that wasn't really popular, right?
Really?
Yeah. He boxed the guy in the pub one night. He did this crazy stuff.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. He didn't know what he was playing.
He didn't behave himself.
Yeah, he didn't behave himself. No.
Oh, yeah, they all
See?
do.
Hey, guys,
We all muscles.
so,
Proper whiskey,
Drink this.
Proper 12.
proper
So-
12.
so we've sponsored the contest, and he's showing me and you on the computer that this is an ad, and you can see America's Auction Academy is right in the middle. We're one of the three main sponsors for this event. And where is this
So
appearing?
this is appearing in the national newspapers.
In the national newspapers? Yeah.
We're getting a lot of good coverage.
And you're
on
going to
it.
send this to me?
Yeah, I'll send it.
Okay. And what is your website?
So the website is www.ipav.ie. Yep.
IPAV.IE.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask your neighbor. Okay? That's very nice. I appreciate that.
IP.
guys gotta enjoy Fort Worth.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that next
Talk
day.
show you guys are
Yeah,
really
yeah,
enjoy.
going down, yeah.
Somebody play the guitar?
Todd does.
Group?
I played the accordion. I played the accordion.
Todd does, and now he's got whiskey to go along with it.
Ah, they-
Okay.
very small.
You gonna play us a song?
Well, I'll tell you now.
I might have a guitar.
Yeah, we have it, and it's.
I think this is a bit of a, I
It's
think
my
this is a
little-
bit of a, right?
Before we were going to go. you
I
finished-
might have a
you finished
guitar.
with this?
Finish with this, yeah.
I feel this is
Are we done with that?
Yeah,
Before,
it's a silly question.
before we were to leave, when Pat was a little boy, he always wanted to be an auctioneer.
Uh-huh.
So he wrote a little song. So we need to get him set up before we go.
I might do the guitar, we'll just see.
You will do it. You will do it.
Let me get, I'm gonna get my stand. You know the stand, right?
You good?
I don't know if I do the guitar.
We have a video. Here, grab that stand right
Really put you on the spot there.
He's always ready.
there. Gonna make you a star. We're gonna be.
We're gonna make a big star out of you.
That's it. We're gonna make you international.
You're gonna be on American Idol next week.
It's gonna go viral, probably.
See if you can go
Here,
viral.
let me get started.
It's a bit hard for the whole little. I'm going to do the auction song, but you know it's the auction song, so as Colin says, when you were a bit smaller, I was trying to learn this song for quite a while to be an auction, and I'm sure Mike has heard this song many, many times indeed. It's written by...
Tell me when you're ready to record and I'll start over.
Oh yes, okay. Well, it goes like this. I'm not going to do the guitar for this because it's a bit... I don't think I'll get the sound that I want. Yeah, that's in here. So I'll just do the song on its own. There's no problem. Just see the story.
Well, you
So,
could,
it goes like this. Hey, but all right, they're all a bit there. Who'll start me off? I was 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, Abbott, 110 of the vine. There was a boy in Arkansas who wouldn't listen to his ma. When she told him that he should go to school, he'd sneak away in the afternoon, take a little walk, and pretty soon you'd find him at the local auction barn. He'd stand and listen carefully, then pretty soon he began to see how the auctioneer could talk so rapidly. He said, oh my, it's Stuart, I had never heard that auction cry. Gotta make my mark and be an auctioneer. A $25 bid at $30, will you give me 30, make a 30 bid at $30, will you give me 30, you bid it at a $30 bid, $30 bid at 35, will you give me 35, make a 35 bid at 35, who'll bid it at a $35 bid? And all that time he did his best, and none could see he didn't jest. He practiced call bids both night and day. His pa would find him behind the barn, just working up and off a storm, as he tried to make that hot of auctioneer. Then his pop said, son, we just can't stand to have a mediocre man sell things at auction using our good name. I'll send you off to auction school and you will be nobody's fool. You can tag the best to be the best. $35 bid at $40, 40. Give me 40, make it 40 bid at $40. Will you give me 40? You bid at $40 bid. $40 bid at 45. Give me 45, make it 40 bid at 45. And I sold that horse for a $45 bid. Hanging around with these boys drinking too much.
Okay.
And my throat isn't the best, so.
Okay, so what we've determined with Matt is he's going to continue to do what he does for a living.
Mike, thank you very much. You're very good. I really appreciate it. Letting us come in and talk to you and disturb your class. And the very best good to everybody.
Everybody, absolutely, yeah. Very
Can we try and just get a quick shot with your class behind us?
Sure.
Maybe if we can maybe line up here. I don't know if it's going to be too tight.
I guess we could try to.
If you want me to take a picture with your
Well, we
phone?
love all of you guys in the shot.
Yeah, kind of like standing here and you all back there. We could try to probably put you